What's up, everybody? Back again. Got all this built up. When I finished it, it was dark out, so I figured I would, since there's no time set in this one, I would just wait it out. And while I was waiting, I kind of built up the outside a little bit. I got my doors on, built a walkway, a couple flower beds, which actually reminded me of something that I don't know who it was that I was watching, but somebody showed me on YouTube a cool trick for, it's a good way to light the outside of your house, plus get some aesthetic feel. You get oak leaves, I just always pick oak wood too, and some glowstone, and what you're going to do is you're going to put some shrubs on the outside of your house so it looks good, but it also does some lighting. So you want to dig down to, I'm just going to put them on both sides of these front wings, but dig down to, and then you'll put a piece of wood, a piece of glowstone, like that, and then put your wood. And the reason you put the wood down is because you have to have that for the shrubs not to disappear. And then you just do something like that, and then you get the cool look of the shrubs in the front. Plus, that's going to light it up nicely at night. Keep some of the monsters away in survival. Just a cool little deal here. Whoops. Yeah, something like that. Make your house look kind of cool on the outside as well, you know. Get your hedges going. Alright, when we left off, I was just doing the bottom half here, so we'll go ahead and do the top half. When I start on the top half, I always like to start right here, because what I like to do is your floor is going to end up being even with what we have built already. Or no, we're going to end up being one higher, actually. Damn it. Is that right? Wow, that sucks. That just means I screwed up. All this stuff, you're going to want to drop down one layer. Sorry if that screwed anybody up who was building directly off of the video. But I didn't factor in certain things on that. So basically, you're just going to want to have two here, because your floor for the second floor is going to end up being right here. And I mean, it's okay if you don't mind your windows going right up to it. I usually like having a barrier in between everything. Yeah, and I know in survival that kind of sucks because you're wasting window space, and actually that makes this work out better, because I ended up changing this from what I told you guys, but my window ended up going right up against this wall of the house, and I didn't like how that looked either, so I cut off both ends. But this is actually going to work out a little better. You should still get the full circle effect out of it now. So we'll do this real quick. I gotta fix this one. And all of these. Alright. That wasn't too terrible. Alright, so we're going to build our overhang now. I think we're just going to do a square one. There's been times where I kind of angle everything so it kind of comes to a point out here, which more or less it has a good look to it most of the time, but I don't know, we'll stick with the square one this time. We'll just put it out like so. I usually put fences up there so there's no chance of falling off or anything like that. Just the realism part in me again. So we'll go ahead and throw some fence down. We got another animal spawning up in there. Animals will spawn in here because there's still grass. So there's not really much anybody can do about that. But alright, let's see. Usually what I'll do is just use like wood planks. I like oak, just gives that natural wood color. But yeah, you'll go ahead and just kind of fill these in here like so. Again, this is going to take quite a bit of material, but wood, thankfully, is easy to come by. I usually like to pull it out to about, because this is where I leave the middle open here, and then that's where I put my stairs, so you still get that nice vaulted ceiling look right when you walk in. So I'll build that out to there, and then I'll come straight across like this. Like so, and then all this area here will be filled in, and then I usually pull about 3 blocks, sometimes 4 will work actually. We'll do 4. 4 will come across like this. You can just come all the way across really. It's all going to end up being filled in anyway. And then pull it from right here all the way across, and then again this will be filled in, that'll be filled in over there, and then we're going to fill in this piece right here, and then all this will be open, and then you'll have stairs that go right here to get up here. So we'll fill this in real fast, and this will be your access to your little walkout right there. Tell you what, that's one thing I miss, is being able to toggle all this stuff, the rain and the day, or the clock, so you know what time it is, or you can change the time. Can't do that on the Xbox, unfortunately. So we're going to have to deal with working in the rain. And it looks like it's getting dark on top of it. But we should be lit up enough to where you guys aren't going to miss anything from this part. So we'll fill this in. And the reason I do this part next is that it gives you that roof when you don't actually have a roof yet, because there's still all the walls on the second floor to make and stuff. But especially in survival, you know, it's kind of nice to have somewhere where stuff's not going to drop on your head and different stuff like that. So I usually try to do this part next. You'll still have an open spot a little bit right there in the middle, but at least you'll know where stuff's coming from, spiders and different stuff when they spawn up, because you can litter everything with torches and that'll help a little bit, but it's a big place and it's pretty hard to keep lit until you have it all finished. So I would actually advise, if you're doing this in survival, have a different place to stay when it gets dark. If you're not playing with other people, definitely do the bed deal. Try to keep it day, you know, all the normal stuff like that. Okay. Oh, we got one more to do over here. Shit, forgot about that one. Really? the last line, like so. Okay, so you got your floor put in for the second floor. Again, you can change anything if you have different ideas and stuff like that. You know, what I put on here is not. It's the way I do things. So go ahead and put your one line worth of stuff here because I don't like having windows up against anything. So I always do one whole solid line. Oops, missed on that one, huh? And I did go ahead and just solid back wall here. Like I said, you can put windows and stuff if you want. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. This time I just went solid. To me, the back of the house isn't all that important unless you're planning on doing a lot of work back there, and then that'll change depending on what you're building back there anyway. So get stuck on my fences. Alright, and then here you want to keep this open. Sometimes I'll put like a little archway in here. So you'd end up doing something like this. I usually do this set of walls. I usually go, I want to say 5 high. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe it's only 4. Yeah, actually, I usually do. No, that would be 5 because of the extra one. Yeah, so you do 5 high. That usually ends up working out pretty well, doing it that way. We're gonna do the little kind of arched window here. So we're gonna do. You set it up like this. Come across. And then this would be your roof, so you want that to be a solid line as well. Wow, I went entirely too far. There we go. 2, 2, 3. Yeah, so you get a little bit of an arch like that. If you wanted to, you could always go one higher and you can actually get the full peak on it. You know, so you would actually come up here like this, and then you can knock out that one, and then you'd actually get your peak. It's just kind of personal preference there. Me, I'm fine with the rounded part, so, and I'll keep mine 5 high, and that'll work out just fine. Finally, the rain stopped. But since we're going 5 high, we got to keep that in mind when we do this. So, what we're going to do is go like that. Yeah, that looks about right. And then we know exactly how much we have to work with. Because this is going to be your complete roof right there. So, as far as your arching goes, we'll pretty much end up with the same thing, a rounded part. So it'll end up looking something like that, which will look pretty good in the end. Fill this in, and then voila, you got your little walkout here. You could always, if you wanted to, enclose it and put doors in and the whatnot, but I like leaving this part just open. It doesn't really affect much. Sometimes monsters will spawn in, you know, but that's just kind of how that goes. Let's see. Just do an experiment reel here. Yep, see, here's your floor, so that doesn't work quite as well. One of the ones I didn't have such a big gap here, but I don't remember how I had that one set up. Like I said, I built this thing quite a few times, so it's hard for me to remember from one to the other. Each one's been a little different. I've reiterated over and over again. So, but this is the most simple and easy to explain and looks good and all that. So that's why I'm kind of showing you this one instead. So you bring this all the way across, and then this can be the top half of our circle like we had down there. Which that's not going to exactly look right because we went higher on that one. So it'll look a little different, but nobody's really going to notice stuff like that. And if it does bother you, you can always come down and fix this one right here, and it'll look the same there as it does up there. So put something like that, and then we got those two done, we got that done. Your window here, and then for the sides, I just did the same thing that I do down below. Do your 2 and then 1 and 2 and then 1, and you do the same thing. You just make it come up here. So they end up being, what is that, 3? Yeah, they end up being 3 high. Fill that in. And then I just do that all the way back, and then same thing on the back wall here. You can either do windows or not. One of the main reasons why I don't always do windows is because of what I do with the stairs here. It covers up like this whole section of the wall basically, so you can do windows under here, under each section, and get in some light during the day. It works out fine, looks fine. And then usually whatever I do down there, I try to do up here. You could actually, if you're going to do that same window setup as you did over here with the 2 and the 1, you could do it all the way across on the top, and then just underneath the sections underneath, and that would look pretty good too. So, but I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. I'll cut here, give you the gist of it, and then I'll go ahead and fill this all in so you can see the finished product. I think actually I will add the windows on the back wall here just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, and then we will do the stairs and then the roof, I suppose. Okay, we'll see you in a minute.